I'm Joe Larson, and I'm a painter, though I actually work as a pastor, and painting has been kind of a avocation for me, but it's something I've been doing all my life. But I started this, what I call a pandemic art project, in March of 2020, and with the goal of trying to do more art, because as in my regular job, it's hard to find time. So I came up with the idea of trying to do a painting each week. So that's where all this came out of. I've done all these paintings in the past year. I've done about 70 different paintings. I started early on in this project wanting to do things that kind of express life, because with all the sickness and death around us with COVID, I wanted to use symbols. So I kind of focused early on flowers. I did a lot of flowers from my garden, from pictures that I got from friends, other things. And there's a story behind a lot of the paintings, for me anyway. In my paintings, I think there's also a little bit of a melancholy feeling when you look at them. Oftentimes the flowers are by themselves. So there's still that sense of, because during the pandemic, even as a pastor, I felt at times very isolated and alone. I think we all felt that way. And so you'll notice on some of the paintings, there's only one or two flowers. Most of these paintings I've done in a day. So, because part of my goal has been to start and finish a painting the same day, which is a challenge, right? Lutzen Bay sunset. And we went out one evening, it was just beautiful. And the way the sun had come down, it was twilight. And the sun was just reflecting off the lake. So this is based on an actual photo I took down by the shore. I just love Lake Superior. It's yellow irises from our garden. And actually these are irises that my husband got from his grandmother many years ago that we took from her house in South Minneapolis, planted in our garden in Brooklyn Park, moved to Minneapolis, brought them with, and then when we came to Moorhead, we brought some with. So they've propagated and grown and been with us for 30-some years. So I love that kind of story. So this one was one that I just did last month, and it is very different. Hardly any of the paintings I've done in the past year have had any human figures in them. It's called Fallen Angel. Well, in the Gospel of John, there's a contrast between lightness and darkness, and the kind of Judeo-Christian legend of fallen angels. But it's also a symbol that's been used in the gay community too, meant to represent some of the deep feelings I felt, both in terms of coming out, accepting myself, but also the struggle over the past year, right? The isolation, depression, grief that many of us have felt. So there's a lot more emotion in that, in symbolism. This shows I'm donating the proceeds to a local nonprofit, the Pride Collective and Community Center. I serve on their board, and they're a local community center for people who are LGBTQ. And they are struggling, a lot of nonprofits are struggling in response to COVID.